Hello everyone. So, welcome to my first ever stock chart analysis video, no, where I'll be discussing different stocks or different charts. So, unang-una sa lahat, disclaimer lang, no. The stuff that I'll be talking about here is just my perspective on the stocks, specifically my technical perspective. So this is not financial advice or investment advice. I'm just sharing my analysis on a particular stock. But of course, to the best of my knowledge. So with that being said, please do your own due diligence when investing or trading your hard-earned money in the stock market. After all, ikaw or kayo yung nagtitake ng risk. Huwag yung dahil lang nakita kayo ng post sa social media na buy na yung ganitong stock, bibili na kayo. Or di kaya nakapanood kayo ng isang video dito sa YouTube, tapos sinabing buy, bibilihin nyo na yung stock. Diba? So, huwag magpapadala sa hype. Always do research so that you'll make good decisions. So, let's move on. So, before starting the stock chart analysis and covering our first stock, gusto ko lang i-share ng konti yung general idea ko kung paano ako tumitingin ng charts. So, I mainly use two indicators. One being the RSI. So, ito yung nasa baba. And I'll just show my settings, no? So, length 14, smoothing line SMA, and smoothing length 14. So, pretty standard lang. And then, yung upper limit is 70, and then lower limit is 30. And the middle limit, as you can see here, yung parang dotted line is the 50 line. So, alam naman siguro ng karamihan dito na when it comes to the RSI reaching 70, ang ibig sabihin is overbought. And kapag malapit na siya sa 30, ibig sabihin oversold. Others, like myself, use the RSI as a means of determining yung strength ng stock. So, ibig sabihin, the nearer it is to 70, ibig sabihin mas malakas yung stock. And the nearer it is to your 30, ibig sabihin, mas mahina yung stock. So, kapag malapit siya sa 50, of course, parang neutral lang siya. And then, yung second na indicator na ginagamit ko is yung moving average. So, it's subdivided into 3, which is yung MA20, the red one, and then MA50, and then yung MA100. Okay? Ayan, hide ko muna para mas clear. So, the MA20 is the red one. So, that determines the short term. And then the violet one, which is yung MA50, the medium term. And then the blue one, which is the MA100 for the long term. Okay. So, ilalabas ko na siya lahat. So, ayun. Let's proceed. Let's go to the first stock. So, SGP. So, if you've already watched my previous video on SGP, no? This is a stock that I traded. But I won't be discussing that kasi trading dissection ko yun. I'll just look at the stock now and determine kung ano yung analysis ko sa kanya, no? Kung ano yung nakikita kong galaw niya. If we're going to look at the RSI, yung RSI ng SGP is malapit sa 50, so that means neutral. So, hindi siya malakas, hindi rin siya mahina. Okay. Tapos, if we're going to look at the MA50, the MA100 muna, no? I-hide ko muna yung MA20 tapos MA50. We can see na clearly it's still in a long-term uptrend. Why? Because yung candles is above sa MA100. Okay, so ito yung sinasabi ko. Itong area na yan. Diba? So, ito yung MA100 natin, yung color blue. Tapos yung mga candles niya is way above the MA100. So, it means that on a long-term perspective, uptrend pa rin siya. And makikita natin yan, nag-start yan nung around January, no? Dito siya nagsimulang tumaas above the MA100. Tapos, never na siyang bumaba ng MA100. And in fact, naging support pa yung MA100 during this period ng February. Tapos, noong April. So, that just means na on a long-term trend, uptrend pa siya. So, MA50 naman, andun pa rin siya, no? Same sentiments din. Uptrend pa rin siya. Kasi yung candles is above pa ng MA50. However, medyo lumalapit na yung MA50, no? Malapit siya compared sa MA100. So, ito na yung candles, ayan lang yung MA50, di ba? So, labas natin yung MA20. So, as you can see, the MA20 again is for the short-term trend. Okay? So, kung mapapansin nyo, yung candles is before May 27, okay? Nung month ng May, yung ating SGP is nasa short-term uptrend. Okay, itong area na to kasi yung candles is nasa taas pa niya. However, if the candles are being penetrated by the MA20 or sobrang dikit nung candle sa MA20, ibig sabihin niya nasa consolidation siya. So in this case, since the candles are very near the MA20 and the MA20 is what determines yung short-term trend, this means that yung trend ng SGP ngayon is in a short-term consolidation. So, ibig sabihin, on the short term, sideways siya. And kitang-kita naman natin yun, di ba? Now, ang hindi natin dyan masasagot for certain is, of course, kung hanggang kailan siya nasa loob ng consolidation or kailan siya magsa-sideways. Hanggang kailan siya magsa-sideways. Kasi from here, only time will tell kung ang mangyayari is magko-consolidate pa ba siya ng matagal or pwedeng lumakas yung selling tas bumaba na siya or pwedeng bumalik ulit yung short-term uptrend. Okay, pag yung mga candles tumaas na ulit above the MA20, pwedeng maging short-term uptrend na siya, di ba? So, yun yung hindi natin sigurado kung ano yung mangyari. Only time will tell. However, yung magiging galaw niya in the succeeding days will probably determine kung ano yung pwede nating maging good choice of action regarding this stock. So, in the event na maging uptrend to, so, malagpasan niya ulit yung MA20, yung immediate resistance na kailangan niyang i-overcome is ito, no? Yung high niyan, which is 10.84. And I've discussed this sa aking previous video sa trading day section na ito talaga yung main resistance ng SGP, which is itong area na to. Ayan. Okay. Because kitang-kita naman yung previous support. Ayan. So, this means kapag naging uptrend yung SGP, vital yung area na to, no? Yung between 10.80 to 11 or around that area. Yan. 10.80 to 11. Kasi, yan yung major resistance eh. So, a very good or positive na mangyayari dito sa SGP is mag-uptrend siya tapos lumagpas siya ng 11. Okay, with a good close. Ibig sabihin, hindi malakas yung selling pressure, no? Or hindi siya magfe-fake out. So, kapag nalagpasan niya yung 11 tapos mag-stay siya dyan ng matagal, then that's really good. Kasi ibig sabihin, patuloy ulit yung uptrend niya. Yan. So, for now, stay lang ako sa sidelines. And to be honest, this is actually part of my watch list. Inaabangan ko yun, yung 11. And then, if this goes below 10, tapos sa baba ng MA50, tatanggalin ko na to sa watchlist ko. It will no longer be a part of my watchlist. Kasi, pag bumaba na siya dito sa MA50, tapos mag-breakdown pa siya sa support dito, and given na below 10 pa siya, mataas yung chance na tatagal talaga yung consolidation. Kasi below na siya ng MA50, tapos below pa ng MA20, di ba? Pwede pang maging short-term to medium-term downtrend. And, pag inabot niya na yung MA100, ibig sabihin, pwede siyang mag-consolidate for long term na naman. So, hindi na siya worthy ng attention kasi syempre, kung magko-consolidate lang din siya, edi sayang yung allocation dun sa stock na yun. So, next up, DMC. So, RSI, ganun ulit. Kung titingnan natin, nasa 50s area na naman. So, alam na natin yan, neutral area, 'di ba? So, makikita nyo wala ding lakas yung stock, 'di ba? Parang nag-spike siya pero ilan percent lang to? 7% lang, tas binawi lang din kaagad. And then if we're going to look at yung MAs, no, labas muna natin yung MA20 lang. Yun, short-lived yung kanyang uptrend. Ito lang. Tapos binawi lang din kaagad, bumaba lang din. Tas ngayon, consolidation na siya sa short term. And then sa medium term, ganun din eh. Kasi ayan, no, parang binubutas ng MA20 yung mga candles, di ba? I mean, ng MA50 yung mga candles. So, medium term, consolidation din. Tapos, ganun din sa ating MA100. Leading na siya sa consolidation. Ito yung sinasabi ko, di ba, na kapag ang stock or ang price lumalapit na sa MA100, tapos nagtagal siya doon, magko-consolidate talaga siya. So, yan, ngayon, all moving averages tells us na magko-consolidate yung stock for a long time. And this is probably because DMCI, from what I remember, is a blue chip stock, no? part ata to ng PSEI. So, since yung overall sentiment ng market is hindi okay, medyo bearish tayo ngayon. So, syempre, hindi mo ina-expect na mag-uptrend yung mga stocks na consist ng PSEI, and that includes DMC. So, next up, DDMP. Dito sa DDMP or DDMPR, basically this is a REIT, no? REIT. So, honestly, the greatest factor pagdating dito sa mga ganitong type ng issues or ng securities or ng stocks is fundamentals. Kasi the reason why people or market players are buying into this is because of real estate, 'di ba? Kung ano yung current real estate holdings nitong REIT na to, 'di ba? Yung mga pinagsama-samang mga condo or apartments or commercial spaces or stuff of that nature. Basta real estate, 'di ba? So ibig sabihin, ang magde-determine talaga ng price nito or ng movement niya is a fundamental catalyst. I'm not really sure because I don't do fundamental analysis. So I can't comment on the stock in terms of fundamental analysis or FA kasi I haven't read anything about this particular REIT, no, kung prospectus or disclosure or whatever. But what I can see here is that currently I've already plotted the major supports here, no? As you can see, 1.15 tapos 1.17. And it's currently at the low. Ayan. So, currently, nagko-consolidate siya doon sa major support area. So, ayun, like what I've said earlier, the only reason for this to go up is if may fundamental catalyst. So, I think regardless, no, kahit mag-uptrend to, kahit lumagpas yung price sa MA20, MA50, or MA100, hindi naman ito mag-uptrend ng sobrang bilis. Because this isn't a stock that traders usually trade. More on, more on para sa mga investors, di ba? But I'm not saying na it's not a possibility. Very unlikely na within 1, 2, or 3 days, i-increase siya ng 20% or more than 10%, di ba? Parang gradual yung pagtaas niya. Parang itong move niya na to dito. So, from here, nung na-establish niya yung low na to, ayan, nag-increase siya ng 24%. And kung mapapansin nyo, November to February. So, November, December, January, February. So, 3 months, no? 3 months, tapos nag-increase ng 20%. Kasi funda play talaga siya. Dividend and for investors. Ayun. So, siguro, the only thing I can comment on this is kapag nag-breakdown siya, which is pag nag-below siya ng 1.15, tapos nag-breakdown siya dito sa 1.15, tapos probably magko-consolidate ulit, tapos pag nag-breakdown ulit doon, mataas yung chance na, ayun, mahirapan siyang mag-uptrend. The sentiment on that would be downtrend talaga siya. So, ngayon, consolidation siya. Okay, so, last is BSC. Probably opposite ng no SGP because kung titingnan natin yung kanyang trend, in the long term, it's in a downtrend because candles are below the MA100, tapos was about to do a medium-term consolidation. However, bumaba ulit, so medium-term downtrend ulit yan. And then, for the short term, ganun din. Downtrend siya, no? Ang nangyari sana nito, nagkakaroon ng consolidation, probably traders are bottom picking or bottom fishing, tapos nagkaroon ng bentahan dito in this area. Kaya nag-downtrend siya. And then probably the ones who bought here are cutting their losses, kaya grabe din yung selling, no? And kung mapapansin nyo, yung kanyang RSI is nasa 25. So, oversold. So, sobrang hina niya, walang strength. So, ngayon, i-determine natin kung ano yung possible support areas niya. So, hindi ko na inaasahan to na mag-uptrend in the short term, no? Pwedeng bounce lang, pero babawiin lang din agad. So, ito yung area na to, yung kanyang major support recently, no? Pero, let's look at yung previous support areas. So, ayun. Oh, actually, ano pala to? Nag-breakdown pala siya sa mga major support talaga. Kasi ito na actually yung kanyang support area before. Kaya nagkaroon ng consolidation dito nung time na to. Because nasa major support area pala siya. Kaya a lot of traders were thinking na hindi na to bababa. Tapos nung bumaba, edi nag-cut loss na lang din sila. Ayan, so tingnan natin dito. So, plot natin dyan. Kasi support yan. Tapos ito, meron pang low dyan. Tapos dito. Okay. So, balik tayo sa present. Yun. So, actually, kaka-breakdown niya lang ulit sa isang major support area pala, no? Itong 1.14. 0.14, no? Ayan. Kaka-breakdown. Tapos, kanina, nag-try siyang tumaas above 0.14 pero binentahan lang din. So, most likely, if hindi pa to makabawi, hindi pa siya makabawi in the coming days, ito na yung magiging next support niyan. And of course, pag nag-breakdown yan, talagang kangkungan na talaga. So, if ever makabawi ito, the resistance talaga agad na kanyang kailangan lagpasan is of course ito. Yung 15, no? Yung 15.10 kasi previous support siya. So, magiging resistance. So, probably, tatama siya dito. Tapos, nakaabang na yan, syempre, yung MA50 tsaka MA20 agad. Which will act as moving resistances din, no? So, medyo mahirapan tong makabawi, itong BSC. Pero ayun, depende, di ba? So, pwedeng magkaroon ng mga fundamental catalysts na lumabas. Magkaroon siya ng buying pressure. Pero syempre, hindi natin alam kung kailan yun or kung meron man. This is why it's very important that you cut your losses, no? Kasi pag hindi ka nag-cut, ang mangyayari is, mag-hope ka ng mag-hope na sana magkaroon ng catalyst or sana magkaroon ng buying, di ba? Para makabawi ka. Ang hindi mo alam, magbebentahan na lahat tapos ikaw masa-stock doon, may ipit ka. 'Di ba? So, sayang ng funds, sayang ng allocation kasi since ipit, hindi mo pwedeng i-allot yun sa ibang stock na mas maganda na sana yung performance or mas maganda yung trend niya. 'Di ba? Since walang shorting sa Philippines, so you can't make money if the stock is going down. You can only make money from long positions or if it's going up. So, ayun. I guess that ends our stock chart analysis, no, charting session. So if you learned some things from this video, hit that like button and subscribe, and then abangan nyo yung mga future videos ko. So thank you so much and see you on the next video.